What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a breakdown of one of the most underappreciated offenses in the NCAA, and that is the Richmond Spiders. And despite not gaining a lot of recognition, Richmond actually runs statistically one of the best offenses in the country, shooting the ball very efficiently and moving the ball well while taking great care of it. And their offense is composed mainly of sets from the Princeton offense, but they also run a lot of creative variations, mainly using the pick and roll, which I'll try to explain. And for context here, Georgetown is much more well known for their Princeton offense, but doesn't compare nearly as well to Richmond statistically. So whether you're a fan of Richmond or you're just interested in the Princeton offense, I definitely recommend watching this because they run a lot of really good sets. So let's check out how they're able to run it so efficiently. So the Princeton offense is composed of three main series: the chin series, the low post series, and the point or high post series. And Richmond runs the vast majority of their sets out of the point and low post series, so we're going to start with the point series here. It starts with a simple 2-guard high, 2-wing, and low center alignment, and in this series there's an order of operations which I'll get into, with each action leading to a subsequent action if they don't get a shot out of it. So the series will always start with the shooting guard cutting through the lane and exiting to the weak side corner, and the center cutting to the elbow to receive a bounce pass from the point guard. The first option is always a basket cut from the point guard, which is rarely available, but they're able to get it here. In this next action, you're going to see the point guard again waving the shooting guard off into the weak side corner. Then he'll execute the bounce pass to the center, and you're going to see the subsequent action after the basket cut, which is called an away screen at the opposite elbow. And this option is rarely available as well, but here they're able to get a good look at a three. Same action here, the shooting guard exits and the point guard and the wing will execute the away screen after the bounce pass, and when the away screen doesn't lead to a shot, the next option is a pick and roll with the center, but I found that more often than not the guard will reject the screen and is able to get to the basket here and draw a foul. Same action here where they'll execute the away screen and it's actually well defended. So here the first option would be to the wing cutting to the basket, but he actually misses him. So the second option is back to the point guard to flow into a pick and roll, which is also denied. So he'll actually reject the screen and go into a dribble handoff with the other wing, and here they're able to get a good look at a three. Another variation that's not quite as common that they'll execute is the same screen but over the top, where the point guard will cut over the center to the wing and they'll execute the screen and usually flow into a dribble handoff. Here it gets great post position for the center, but he ends up getting called for a foul. The next wrinkle in the offense is called forwards out, where the guard will execute a dribble handoff with the wing and the guards and wings will simply switch positions, and this variation can be used in any series and leads to the exact same order of operations after it's completed. And here you'll see the wing make the weak side corner cut, and the center, who's not involved in forwards out, will receive the ball at the elbow just as he always does, and they'll flow into a pick and roll after the away screen, with the ball handler rejecting the screen, and in this case he actually should have waited for the play to develop so that the point guard could fill the wing, and there are two defenders there to help, which leads to a turnover. Same exact play here out of forwards out, and if you look at the picture on the top right of your screen, you'll see it's the exact same option that you saw from before out of the point series, but this time just using forwards out. Forwards out here again, and this time you'll notice that after the away screen, Terry Allen ends up accepting the screen, and it's able to work out this time as there's only one defender left on the weak side to help, and as a result he's able to get a good look at a layup. The most common variation they run out of the point series is called drift, and you see it starts the exact same way, with the shooting guard exiting to the weak side corner and the center cutting to the elbow. And the point guard will dribble towards the center as if he's about to give him the bounce pass, but then he'll quickly execute a crossover and dribble towards the wing, which will then trigger that wing to exit either to the weak side corner or in this case post up on the strong side block. And the shooting guard who exited to the weak side corner will fill his spot, and he'll receive a chest pass from the point guard, who will then receive a flare screen from the center. Same exact action here where the point guard will make the crossover and dribble towards the wing, but again they're unable to get a shot out of this one. Again, they run drift here where the point guard will dribble towards the wing, and the flare screen actually works this time as Trey Davis is able to get a good lane to the basket. In this case, the flare screen is going to create a lane for Kendall Anthony, which scrambles the defense and ultimately leads to an open jumper for Chandre Jones. 3-point series, the series Richmond uses the most is the low post series, and it starts with the same alignment, but in this case the shooting guard will not exit to the weak side corner and the center will stay on the low block. And more often than not, they'll use forwards out to initiate the series, and here they're able to get a good post up for Terry Allen on the left block. Same exact option here with the ball starting on the right side of the court instead of the left. And after forwards out, they'll just swing the ball around to get Terry Allen good position on the left block. And here again, he's able to draw a foul. Again, you're going to see the same play here from forwards out. But I want to take a second to show the main gripe I have when I see Richmond using the low post series, and that is that traditionally in the Princeton offense, when the shooting guard makes a low post entry, he has 3 choices. He can flare out to the top of the key at the 3-point line and maybe set a screen for the guard who's coming around from the weak side. He can exit to the weak side corner, or if his man doubles, he can cut to the corner for an open 3. But in this case, and in a few cases you're going to see here, the shooting guard decides to do none of those, and it leads to a lot of stagnation in the offense. Here's the same action, and again you'll notice that when the big man can't get a good look from the post up, there's no secondary option, and this is because of no movement from the guard after the entry pass. Here TJ Klein is forced to make a risky pass, and you'll notice in this case from Terry Allen that after he posts up and can't get a good look, the offense goes stagnant and there is no option except to repost, and ultimately it's going to lead to a turnover. Here we finally see some movement from the point guard after the entry pass where Kendall Anthony flares out to the top of the key and gets a great look at a 3. So even the simplest movement of the guard is crucial and can create an open look or lead to subsequent actions. Now let's look at some variations that they use in the low post series, and these are the sets I referenced earlier when I mentioned that some of their offense isn't classic Princeton, and one example of that is something that they do really well, which is using the pick and roll to initiate their offense. And notice that they'll start in the same alignment as the typical low post series, and on one side the guard will exchange positions with the wing like they're about to execute forwards out, but on the opposite side the center will go to the top of the key where he and the wing will go into a double staggered screen with the point guard. And the center will then pop out to the 3-point line, and the wing will roll to the basket where he's able to get good post-up position here. And on this case, the ball swings to the other wing, who notices his defender overplaying the pass, so he'll attack the closeout and then get a good look at a 3 for Kendall Anthony. Same action here, but instead of hitting the wing, they'll instead hit the low post, where Terry Allen is able to get great position from the post-up after he rolls out of the pick and roll. Similar action here, and this is probably my favorite play I saw them run. Well, they'll go into forwards out, but they'll then execute a double drag screen for the point guard, who then gets the pass from the shooting guard, and this scrambles the defense, and then the shooting guard is actually going to fill into the corner, which is reminiscent of the Spurs hammer play, and it usually gets them a great look at a 3. That's all I got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you know to look out for Richmond this year because they really run a lot of great sets. And one thing I've noticed that I noticed from 2 years ago when Kendall Anthony was on the team, they ran a lot more of those variations out of the pick and roll. So look for that to be the trend this year with the addition of Nick Sherrod. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.